Catweazle here. Welcome back to Arkham Horror, Curse of the Dark Pharaoh. This is the beginning of turn 1. We've done all the setup and we're all ready to go. So just a quick look at where all our investigators are. Tommy Deathwish Muldoon, he's at the police station. Ursula Downs is at the river docks where she's been seeing those shifty gentlemen messing around with the crates of ancient artifacts that she's been chasing all over the world. Kate Winthrop is at the science building, and Hank Samson is waiting for his pa at the general store. Right, so let's get the first turn underway by going into the upkeep phase. Let's move to the player area. Here we are at Tommy's player area. Tommy's the first player. And what are we going to do with Tommy? Well, he's currently at the police station. And what I'd like him to do, considering he's got his death wish for his personal story, I'm not very keen for him to fulfill it. But it seems to me with the way that he's tooled up, he's got plenty of weapons. He's also pretty good at moving around. He's got +1 fight as his skill. Seems to me that Tommy's pretty much tailor-made to be the monster killer out of this particular bunch of investigators. See, that's quite thematic, I think. He's a rookie cop, wants to make a difference, so he's going to be the one who's going around Arkham, saving the citizens from the horrible denizens of other dimensions. Also, I think he's beginning to think it's got something to do with the exhibit that's currently going around Arkham, so he's going to keep close tabs on that. So Tommy is going to be our monster killer plus Ancient Whispers exhibit man. And the first thing he's going to do is we've put his speed up, and we're going to have him going down to Miskatonic University Streets, I think, where he's going to start dealing with the Ancient Whispers marker. So he's going to be our man who's doing that. So he needs 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. He's got 4 speed, but he's also got the map of Arkham as well, so he's got plenty of movement to be able to get to Miskatonic University Streets. So that is going to be what Tommy's going to do. Next up is Ursula Downs. Here we are with Ursula Downs. I think what we're going to do with Ursula is we're going to take advantage of the environment card. We've got an environment mystic card, Noden's Favour. And as you can see here, it costs 2 fewer clue tokens to seal gates. So she's already got 4. She has got research materials, which means she can use that as an extra clue token, so she has got 5 in essence. But with this card, we only need to spend 3 to seal a gate. So if we're swift, we'll get through and we'll be able to take advantage of this card's environment ability. So she's going to go straight into the Witch House gate. She's there, she's noticed the crates being unloaded, and she's got a tip off that something's happened at the Witch House. She's going to scoot over there. Proper Angelina Jolie, Tomb Raider, straight into the gate. So that's where she's going to go. And as she's going after Tommy Muldoon, she's going to go via Miskatonic University Streets. And I think we'll have a little bit of a trade just before she pops into that gate. Right, she's got enough speed. She's got 2 speed, which gives her 2 movement points, and she's also got 2 movement points for the motorcycle, so that'll give her 4 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's enough. So that's pretty cool. Right, next up will be Kate Winthrop. And here we are with Kate. Now, the plan for Kate is she's got a really good special ability whereby gates and monsters cannot appear where she is. So I think it'd be really good for Kate to try and hoover up clues at the really unstable locations. Because even if we get a location card that says a gate and a monster appear, or we get a gate in the mythos phase, it's not going to appear with her ability. So to kick that off, I think we'll move her 3 spaces to the Unvisited Isle. The Unvisited Isle is quite an unstable location, and then we can look for her to hoover up clues at places like Independence Square and the Woods and the Graveyard, places that seem to come up on a lot of mythos cards. She will also be passing through the Miskatonic University Streets to get to the Unvisited Isle. So again, she'll be able to trade with Tommy. She's got no weapons, so he's got a couple. So she'll be able to hand some stuff off. And she'll be able to give him some money, I think, as well. If he's going to be the guy who's staying in the streets and stuff, he may as well have the money and buy the odd thing from the general store, magic shop or curiosity shop while he's at it. Right, so that's what Kate's going to do. Next up in the upkeep phase then is Hank Samson. Right, here we are with Hank. Right, Operation Find Pa. So how are we going to achieve his personal story? Well, he needs clues. He needs 5 clue tokens, and then he needs to get to the train station. So I think what we're going to do with Hank is we're going to get into the Black Cave. There are 2 clues there at the moment, and we may as well have those as quickly as possible. That'll put him up to 3. Now I've put his speed up to 5, and the reason I've done that, it will only take him 2 movement points to get to the Black Cave, which leave him 3 over. He's got the ancient tablet. So spend 3 movement points and discard it to roll 2 dice. For every success rolled, draw 1 spell. For every failure rolled, gain 2 clue tokens. Hopefully, we'll fail and get 2 clue tokens. So in addition to the 2 clue tokens we're picking up from the Black Cave, that'll be 4 clue tokens. He's already got 1, and that'll be his 5 clue tokens. It may be we end up with 2 spells. If we end up with 2 spells, then we end up with 2 spells. That's just the way it is. But it does give him a chance quite quickly to get those 5 clue tokens, and then he'd be able to run on up to the train station. I think for the longer term game, how we're going to play it is he may be very similar to Tommy Muldoon in that he'll be whizzing around trying to kill monsters, especially the monsters that have got high sanity damage due to his thick-skulled ability. If Hank's the guy who doesn't even have to do a horror check against them unless he fails his combat check, then it'd be good to get Hank in there first, really stick his fight up, and get him in there like cracking some heads. So that's what we'll try and do with Hank. Right, let's get back to the board and to the movement phase. And here we are, back at the board for the movement phase. And first up is Tommy Muldoon. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to finish his movement in the Miskatonic University Streets, because he's going to take a look. He's a bit suspicious about this exhibition, so he's going to take a look at it firsthand. Right, that's his movement. Next up is Ursula Downs. She's making her way to the witch house. So 1, 2, and the first thing she's going to do is bump into Tommy in the university streets, and they're going to trade. So having a look at what they've got, the first thing that Ursula is actually going to give Tommy is the healing stone. Reason for that is, if Tommy's going to be doing a lot of fighting, then we want the ability for him to heal himself, whether it's sanity damage or health damage. We don't want him popping into Arkham Asylum and the St Mary's Hospital every 5 minutes. So this will give him an added opportunity to heal his own damage. So we'll pass that across. And she's also going to pass across the Lamp of Al-Hazred, which is +5 to combat checks, but magic. So it's like the rifle he's already got, but for magic. So that will be very strong. It's two-handed weapon, like his rifle's two-handed weapon, but depending on which monster he's going to go up against, he can always swap hands and pick one up rather than the other. So he's going to keep that in reserve. He's going to give back to Ursula the holy water, just in case. It is a one-shot weapon, but we don't want Ursula doing a great deal of combat. This will just be a little backup for her should things go a bit pear-shaped. So she'll take that. And he's also going to give her one of either the 38 revolver or the Derringer. And yes, he's going to give Ursula the Derringer, which is just +2 to combat. As I say, we don't want Ursula doing too much fighting, I don't think, but we'll give her something to protect herself with. So she's got the holy water as a sort of holy hand grenade, and she's got the 18 Derringer. She's only got $1, so she's not going to bother giving that to Tommy. And also, if we want her closing gates, she'll need to keep a motorbike because we want to zoom in round the board. So that's the trading done. And she moves the final 2 spaces to the witch house. Right, that is Ursula's movement. Next up is Kate Winthrop, and Kate's first movement is, again, she joins Tommy in the Miskatonic University Streets. What she's going to do is she's also going to trade with Tommy. First thing is she's going to give Tommy $5, putting him up to $7. The next thing that she's going to do is she's also going to give him the old journal tome. There's a couple of reasons for this. There's a chance of getting 3 clue tokens, but it's not particularly for Tommy that I want this. It's because we do have the relationship card. Now Tommy shares this relationship with Ursula Downs, and it means if either of them uses a tome, the other one can also use it even after it's been exhausted or discarded. So if Tommy was to use it and get the 3 clue tokens on the old journal, we would normally discard it. In fact, we will discard it. But the special ability of the relationship card means that Ursula will also have an attempt to get those 3 clue tokens. So basically it means we've got 2 old journals, because both these characters, thanks to the relationship card, will be able to use that tome. So that's why that's being handed across to Tommy by Kate. He can make a bit more use of it. And Tommy is going to give the 38 revolver to Kate because she didn't have a weapon at all. So he's not having a young lady wandering around the streets of Arkham with the current stuff going on, not fully kitted up. So that gets handed across. And additionally, no, she's not going to hand across a silver key or any of her spells. Kate will keep those. Again, Kate's not the person that we're going to have ideally killing monsters. So it seems good for her to keep an evade ability. She's got some magic to help herself if she gets cornered, and she's now got a 38 revolver as well to help herself. So that's Kate's trading with Tommy finalised. So the rest of her movement is into the merchant district and then to the Unvisited Isle, where she picks up a clue. And she's now up to 3 clues. Right, next up is Hank Samson. He's going to do his movement. So he moves 1, 2, and he picks up the 2 clue tokens in the Black Cave. And that now gives him 3 clue tokens. In addition, because he only moved 2, it means he can use his remaining 3 movement points with the ancient tablet. So spend 3 movement points, which is done. Discard the ancient tablet and we'll roll 2 dice. Right. Rolling, rolling, rolling. There we go. 2 dice. See how many successes. Remember, if he gets a success, it's a spell. If he fails, it's clue tokens. 1 success, 1 fail. So he gets 1 spell and 1 clue token. Ideally we'd have liked 2 clue tokens there, but never mind. He's got 1. So a clue token out of the supply. That puts him up to 4 clue tokens, so he only needs 1 more. 1 more and then he can get to the train station, try and find his pa. But what he does have is spells. Right. It's a spell deck. We'll just give it a quick shuffle. This is the last shuffle we'll give it. From now on we'll just pick off the top. Unless we have to search for a specific spell, in which case we'll reshuffle it again. Right. Cut. Let's see what spell we get. Oh, the thematic Curse of the Dark Pharaoh spell. Plague of Locusts. The movement phase. Cast and exhaust. Choose 1 monster in a street area. Return it to the cup. And remove all clue tokens in the same neighbourhood. So it's a bit of... could be useful, could be real pain. We might want to remove a monster, but we'll have to make sure there is no clue tokens in the neighbourhood. We don't really like to lose clue tokens. But casting modifier +0 would cost him 2 sanity. We'll see how we go on. He might hand it off to somebody else. But Plague of Locusts is the spell that he's picked up off the ancient tablet, as well as a clue token. So we'll now discard the ancient tablet. In the discard pile. Right, and that's the end of Hank's movement. Next up is the Arkham Encounter phase. Welcome back to the Arkham Encounters phase. First up is Tommy Muldoon. Now normally if you're in a street area you wouldn't get an encounter, but this is Curse of the Dark Pharaoh. He's investigating rumours that some of the artefacts have been showing up in Arkham, in the streets, and he's come to the Miskatonic University Streets following up a lead, and indeed there is something here. So we've now got to use the Curse of the Dark Pharaoh encounter deck for the Ancient Whispers. So give it a shuffle. Go. Let's give it a quick cut, and let's see what we get. So hopefully that is going to focus. A group of museum curators from Cairo are having a hard time navigating Arkham. They seek your help getting one last artifact to Arkham's museum. Gain an exhibit item and then take the local guide card if it is available. Right. Well, it should be. We haven't used anything else. Gain an exhibit item. Well, here's the exhibit item deck. Give that a quick shuffle. And let's see what exhibit he gets. Gets the Scales of Truth. Any phase. You may exhaust this card to reduce your sanity to equal your stamina, or reduce your stamina to equal your sanity. While this card is exhausted and your sanity and stamina are equal, gain +1 on all skill checks. Right, so what's his... So he'd be reducing his sanity down to 4, so it'd be 4 sanity and 4 stamina in the case of Tommy. But he'd get +1 on all skill checks. Yeah, it's a bit bleh. But nothing bad happened. So what we'll do is we'll put that up there with his other stuff. Return the ancient exhibits to the business card holder, and we also want a local guide card. Let's have a look. Sidekick, private investigator, anointed visions. Local guide. Ooh, it's a red one. Let's have a read. Right, there we go. That's local guide card. And what does it say? When you receive this card, you are delayed. Upkeep. If you are in Arkham, your focus is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0. Discard this card when you have $10 or move. Well, that's just a pain. We're delayed already. So pop over on his side till next time he moves, seeing as we don't have $10. And we'll have one last look at the encounter card, because it'll tell us where we move the Ancient Whispers marker. So move the Ancient Whispers marker to the Merchant District Street location. So just goes up 1. Discard that card now. Right, that's Tommy's Arkham Encounter phase. He's helped out some museum curators, he's got himself the Scales of Truth, but he's also got himself delayed, which is a bit of a pain. But that's the way it goes in this game. Right, next up is Ursula Downs, who is at the Witch House. Again, we don't move her into the other world until this phase, and the gate is the Abyss. Right, so Ursula will go into the Abyss, which is just down here, just out of shot. But we'll show where she is when we get to the Otherworld Encounter phase. Right, next up is Kate. So Kate's at the Unvisited Isle. So let's get the green location deck. Here we are. Our usual shuffle. A few more cards this time, as we've got the Curse of the Dark Pharaoh location cards in. And let's see what we get. The Unvisited Isle. As you start to climb back into your canoe and row towards shore, you see a huge shadowy shape disturb the water near the island. Waves of intense dread grip you, and you must pass a will -1 check or be cursed. Ah! No! What's a will? A will's 2. That's all it is. So she'll have 1 dice to try and pass this. Let's have a quick look, see if there's anything else that can help her. The silver key won't help her. Marksman won't help her. She has got 3 clues, so we may be able to keep rolling for a bit. I really don't want her cursed, so she might have to use those 3 clues. Right, okay. Let's do the rolling. Come on, Kate. 4. No! I fail. Right. Clue token time. So, first clue token. 2. Come on. 3. The last clue token. Try and stop being cursed. This isn't very good. A 6. Cost her all the clue tokens, but she isn't cursed. So they all go back in. How annoying. But at least we're not cursed. So in a way, if you're going to spend clue tokens on anything that doesn't involve sealing gates, avoiding being cursed is pretty high up there. Right, so that's Kate's location encounter. And last but not least, we have Hank Samson at the Black Cave. So, purple encounter deck for Rivertown. Right, the Black Cave. The moaning winds in the cave whisper your name. Lose 1 sanity. Urgh. So he's down to 4 sanity. But he has picked up 2 clue tokens, which isn't too bad. Right, that's the end of the Arkham encounter phase. Next up is the Otherworld encounter phase. Here we are in the Otherworld with Ursula, who's in the Abyss. The Abyss is, like all other worlds, colour coded. We've got a red dot and a blue dot. So we'll bring out the gate deck and see if we can get a red or a blue card. First up is blue, and it's got the Abyss on it. Let's have a look. The Abyss. The cavern split. Make a luck +1 check and consult the chart below. Luck. What's a luck? A luck is 5. I've got to write up at 5. Good move. Good move by Catweazle. So she gets a 5 +1 extra, as said on the card. Let's see if we can. Whoop. Make sure that we get the dice tower in there. Right. See how many successes she can get. She gets 4. That's got to be good. Surely that's got to be good. Let's have a look at the card. Successes. 3+. You enter a dark temple. Pass a luck -1 check to draw a unique item. Woohoo! So it's now luck -1. So that'll be 4 dice. Get rid of 2. So you should get a unique item. She can indeed. 2 successes. Excellent. Always nice to get a unique item. Get the unique item deck. And give it a quick shuffle. It's the first time we're using it in the game. In the game proper, anyway. Right. What have we got? Oh, an elder sign! Yes, yes, yes! How lucky's that? Oh, yes! Ursula, you star! Elder sign on a draw. Brilliant! You didn't even have to pay $5 for it. Goes to this ancient temple, finds an elder sign. Brilliant stuff. Won't have to use any clues to shut the gate. And if we keep Muldoon's favour going, we could not only close the gate with 3 clue tokens, we've got an elder sign to close one, which can knock down the doom track. Excellent card. Right, let's discard that one. And that's the end of the Otherworld Encounter phase. Right, next up, the good old laugh and chuckle phase. Here we go. Whole of Arkham, as we get the laugh and chuckle deck out. And let's see what's coming up. Hopefully it won't be an environment card, as we'd like to keep that one. It is an environment card. Ah, curses! So in a way it's a good job we did get that elder sign. She wouldn't have been able to seal the gates with only 3 clues, because this will supersede the Muldoon's favour card. We get a gate first at Independence Square. Right. Independence Square, with just keep hold of the clue token just in case it tells us to put it somewhere else. We get a gate. We'll take the doom token off that. Put it onto Niall Arthurtep's doom track. It's now at 2. Put the gate in there. And monster! The bag. Have a look in the bag. And we've got a maniac. These are not too bad. They get a bit tougher if the terror trap gets up to about 6 or so, I think. Well, as it stands at the moment, that's not too bad. Let's get him one of the stands. So we've got 5 stands left. We've got the Shan, who's in the sky, and we've got the maniac in Independence Square. Right, next up on the card is, it's a clue. Is at the Rivertown Streets. Oh no, clue appears at the Unnameable. Can't read. Oh, so there's two clues at the Unnameable. Perhaps Hank might be able to get across there, and then he can head up towards the train station. Right, next up is monster movement. We've got square, diamond, and circle. This is the Shan. What? No, the Shan's a triangle, so it doesn't swoop down on delayed Tommy, Miskatonic University Streets. The maniac's a crescent. We've already moved the Ancient Whispers marker, but there isn't a crescent anyway, so there's no monster movement. Right, let's have a read of the Environment Mystic. Investigators, when their movement in the Rivertown streets, may choose to delve into the dark mysteries using their life force. They roll dice equal to their current stamina. For every failed die, they lose 1 stamina. If this reduces them to 0 stamina, they are devoured, and the player must start a new character. Otherwise, they gain 3 clue tokens. Could be something interesting for Death Wish Tommy. It's a win-win. He either gets 3 clue tokens or he gets devoured like he wants to be. So, right. We'll put the Laugh and Chuckle deck back, and we shall replace Noden's Favour, which will be discarded, unfortunately. And we shall put Blood Magic in its place. So, put that up here. Right. So that is the end of the Mythos phase. First player marker will now transfer to Ursula Downs. Excellent. Right. So, there we go. That's the end of the first turn of Curse of the Dark Pharaoh. Join us next time for turn 2. Thanks everybody for all your subscriptions. Up to 50 now. That's really, really excellent. Thanks very much. Thank you all for the views and for the comments. Any mistakes I've made, please point them out. Always happy to try and rectify them if I can. And this is Catweazle signing off for now. Toodaloo. See you next time.